letting go of the suffering artist and embracing conscious creation. Have you ever stopped to think if suffering really is the price of art? Is there another way to create without sacrificing our mental and physical health? Today, I want to chat with you about a perspective on art that dates back to Romanticism, but it still echoes strongly in the world today. It's the idea of the suffering artist. You know, that belief that the path to true inspiration has to go through suffering or sometimes even harmful substances? Well, some people still think that's true. But is that really the only way to connect with something greater, or could there be another path? The myth of the suffering artist. This idea that artists live on the edge, always on the brink of self-destruction. This comes from the Romanticism back on the late 18th and early 19th centuries. At that time, artists like Lord Byron believed that emotional intensity and living life to extremes were virtues. Lord Byron, for example, he was famous for his bohemian lifestyle and his self-destructive behaviors. This ideal create an almost heroic vision of dying young. It was as if living intensely and dying early was preferable to a long, boring life. And this idea ended up fueling the myth that deep suffering is the key to authentic creation. Now I want to share another perspective with you. With time and greater awareness, we realize that we don't need a ladder to reach the divine. That connection is already inside us. True creation comes from a place of peace and inner connection. So instead of searching outside, why not look within? Unfortunately, this idea of self-sacrifice is stuck around and even inspired later generations. In the 20th century, for instance, we saw the rise of the 27 Club with incredible artists like Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, and Kurt Cobain. All of them passed away at the age 27 after living lives marked by addiction and intensity. This story shows the high cost of a distorted belief that romanticizes self-destruction as a path to greatness, silencing the noise and listening to intuition. The key here is learning to quiet the noise around us, pressures, limiting beliefs, and expectations that society places on us. It's in the silence that we can hear our intuition, that soft voice that connects us to everything, whether you call it the universe, God, or whatever resonates with you. When we connect with that voice, we set aside our ego and limiting ideas. A great example of this is Marina Abramovic. She shows that it's possible to explore emotional and physical limits, but in a structured and conscious way without self-destruction. And on that note, I want to share an example of an artist who inspires me deeply. Rebecca Sarai. Rebecca is my friend, mentor, and one of the artists I admire most. She sees the artistic process as a form of meditation and art as a powerful tool for healing. Rebecca's approach goes beyond any technique. It's a practice of self-discovery, personal transformation, and connection with the universe. Through Rebecca, I've learned that when we create, not only we can express how we feel, but also reconnect with our essence and transform our experience in something meaningful and profound. Creating from holiness and health. When we are creating from this place of inner peace, we are creating from a place of holiness. And you know what's amazing? This type of art doesn't lose any intensity or authenticity. On the contrary, it's even richer because it preserves our essence and allows us to express a truth that builds rather than destroys. With this new awareness, we let go of the idea that self-destruction is a requirement for creativity. A great example of this is Elizabeth Gilbert, author of Eat, Pray, Love, and Big Magic. She shows us that inspiration and creativity don't have to come from chaos or pain, but from a commitment to art and a personal well-being. It's a new perspective, creating from a place of peace where art becomes an expression of our truth and not our torments. Creating without suffering. Within me, the divine already poses. I don't need to seek or lose myself. It's in peace that the whisper is heard, in the light that I choose to live. Each stroke reflects the universe, quietly wanting to be born from within me, not from chaos, nor the pain that slaves, but from the spark that choose to grow. I want to leave you with an invitation. No matter what field you work in, let's seek for this connection with our essence, with our divine spark. Let's create from this place of peace, balance, and health, because ultimately art is a reflection of who we are. Let's all become the artists of our own lives, living in harmony with the divine that already exists within us. As we see in films like Frida and Shine, the creative process can transform pain into something beautiful and meaningful. But what we don't need is to romanticize self-destruction to create something profound and authentic. Creation can and should be an act of reconnection and holiness. And to wrap up, I've written a blog about this topic and created some photos to represent this idea. I will leave the link below for you to check out, along with 3 book recommendations that will help to deepen today's reflection. And by the way, I'm Marcia do Valles. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, and of course, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And I'm Marcia do Valles. If you didn't know, now you do.